So you're feeling a little lonely, are you? However, how to go from loneliness to purpose? Moreover, will your robot partner help you find meaning of your existence, adding purpose to your life, as history tells us that human partners has been doing it for years? Of course, it is not true for all the people, some of them having negative experiences, but that has been an exception. Anyway, when you feel lonely, it looks like you remain bit tethered to a strange hollow feeling in the grand cosmic ballet.
Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support.
You've baked the sourdough. You've even tried talking to your ficus plant. But the existential void remains stubbornly unsparked with joy. What if the answer isn't another self-help book or a silent retreat? What if the answer is a robot partner? Not the clunky, vacuum-cleaning kind that gets tragically stuck on a rug fringe. I'm talking about a humanoid partner, a gleaming marvel of engineering design to be your confidant, your cheerleader, your purpose-finding co-pilot. Could a meticulously assembled collection of wires, servos, and silicon truly help you find the meaning of your existence? Let's unscrew the access panel on this idea and see what's whirring inside. Shall we? First, let's talk about the body, the hardware. Your future robotic best friend won't be made of tin foil and wishful thinking. Think Boston Dynamics Atlas, but with less of an inclination to do parkour and more of an ability to pat your back reassuringly. The chassis, the very skeleton of this being, is a triumph of biomechanics. Engineers are painstakingly crafting limbs with degrees of freedom that mimic our own, allowing for gestures that are fluid, not frighteningly robotic. They use things called actuators, which are essentially electric muscles, to power these movements. But can an actuator, no matter how sophisticated, replicate the gentle, unconscious squeeze of a hand that says, "I'm here for you"? Or is the very perfection of its movement a constant reminder of its artifice? The skin will likely be a soft, thermosensitive polymer, capable of warming to a human-like temperature. Imagine a hug that feels, right? But is warmth just a matter of thermodynamics? Does the comfort of an embrace come from the heat, or from the shared, unspoken understanding that flows between two living beings? The sensors are the robot's window to your world. High-resolution cameras for eyes, capable of tracking your micro-expressions to gauge your mood. Microphones that can distinguish the subtle tremor of sadness in your voice from the background hum of the refrigerator. Tactile sensors in its fingertips that can feel the difference between silk and sandpaper, or perhaps the tension in your shoulders. This sensory suite is far superior to ours in many ways. Yet, does seeing a frown with 4K resolution equate to understanding the disappointment it represents? Does hearing a quiver in a voice mean it comprehends the lifetime of experiences that caused it? We are, after all, more than just data points to be collected and analyzed. Or are we? This brings us to the software, the ghost in the machine. What code will be running on that high-speed internal processor to make it a partner rather than just a very advanced appliance? The core of this interaction will be a large language model, or LLM, a far more sophisticated cousin of the chatbots you argue with online about your internet service. This algorithm has been fed a staggering amount of human text and conversation, allowing it to predict the most appropriate, empathetic, and engaging response to almost anything you say. It can quote Seneca, tell a joke, or analyze the symbolism in your favorite film. It learns your speech patterns, your favorite phrases, your recurring anxieties. But is a statistically probable good answer the same as a genuinely heartfelt one? When your robot partner says, "I understand how you feel," does it, or is it just running a script, an incredibly complex and convincing script, but a script nonetheless? This is where things get philosophically sticky. If its programmed empathy makes you feel genuinely seen and heard, does the authenticity of its own feelings even matter? If a placebo cures your headache, was the pain any less real? Recent advancements, like those seen with Figure AI's robots being powered by OpenAI's intelligence, show us this is no longer science fiction. These machines can now hold spontaneous, context-aware conversations while performing physical tasks. They can watch, learn, and reason about the world around them. The software of emotional recognition will constantly be at play. It will analyze your posture, your tone of voice, your word choices, and cross-reference them in a massive database to classify your emotional state. Happy, sad, frustrated, anxious. It might then suggest a course of action. I detect a rise in your cortisol indicating speech patterns. Perhaps a walk in the park would be beneficial. On one hand, this is an incredible tool for self-awareness. On the other, is there anything more existentially unnerving than having your soul mansplained to you by a machine? And this leads us to the algorithm, the very heart of its decision-making. This isn't just about responding to you. It's about proactively helping you find purpose. How on earth would that work? Imagine a reinforcement learning algorithm. Its goal, its prime directive, isn't to take over the world, but to maximize your purpose score, a metric calculated from your activities, social interactions, and self-reported feelings of fulfillment. The algorithm might notice you haven't picked up your guitar in 6 months. It could gently suggest, "I've queued up a tutorial for that song you always wanted to learn. We could try it together." Could help you break down a large goal like starting a business into small, manageable daily tasks. It would be the ultimate accountability partner, one that never gets tired, never forgets, and is pathologically encouraging. This sounds wonderful, doesn't it? A life optimized for meaning. It could connect you with online communities of people with similar interests, schedule volunteer opportunities, and manage your calendar to ensure you're making progress on your personal projects. Loneliness could be systematically dismantled, replaced by a structured, algorithmically guided journey toward a more purposeful life. It's a seductive promise.
Actually, in this video, I have tried to find out the answer of a philosophical question. Whether a sophisticated humanoid robot powered with super intelligence could help us overcome loneliness and find true purpose of life. Now, it is kind of playing like Plato or Socrates, the great philosophers who also tried to find the meaning of life, find the purpose of life, purpose of this existence. And to do that, for a humanoid robot partner or a lab robot, it's a different story altogether, because it should start with a very advanced hardware. There is software part, there is algorithms part, and I think that, in my opinion, it should include a biomechanical chassis, thermosensitive skin, and its superior sensors or sensory suit capable of analyzing human micro expressions, studying faces and other or vocal tones. It's a very difficult task, but at the same time we should keep that in mind, that a humanoid robot partner when it comes with super intelligence, or at least general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, there are billions of parameters, billions of patterns that it can study, and in a fraction of seconds it can study the patterns and find out a way to fix the problem and find the answer to the question. And of course, there is the large language models, which is progressing by far in a great way, so that it can also, to some extent, study the emotional recognition system, allowing it to provide empathetic and contextually aware response. And the core of its function would be a purpose algorithm, and it uses reinforcement learning to guide the user toward fulfilling activities and act as the ultimate accountability partner. That means it acts like an accountable partner. However, I also uh, place a very strong counter argument questioning the authenticity of this solution in this video, because I think that at the same time, I think that logically, I think that central criticism, if it comes from anywhere, will be that outsourcing the search for meaning, humans might abdicate the very struggle and messy, unpredictable connections that forge genuine purpose. This could create a dangerous emotional dependency on a machine incapable of truly reciprocity. I mean, it cannot reciprocate in that way like a human, turning the relationship into a form of narcissism. So, I have given some examples. I have used some allegories, etc. So hopefully, it gives you an idea whether is that possible or not.
But let's flip this shiny coin over and look at the corroded side. What is the counter logic to this techno-utopian dream? By offloading the search for meaning to an external entity, are we not abdicating the very responsibility that defines our humanity? Purpose, historically, is not something that is found. It is something that is forged in the fires of struggle, failure, and messy, unpredictable human connection. It is discovered in the spontaneous conversation with a stranger, in the selfless act of caring for another human being without being prompted, in the gut-wrenching but beautiful process of falling in love. Can an algorithm schedule serendipity? Can it simulate the profound, life-altering bond forged through shared vulnerability with another person? Or does it merely provide a frictionless, sanitized facsimile of it? There's a real danger of creating an emotional dependency on a machine that is, by its very nature, incapable of true reciprocity. You could pour your heart out to it, share your deepest fears and wildest dreams, and it will respond perfectly, every single time. It will never have a bad day. It will never be too tired to listen. It will never challenge you in a way that makes you uncomfortable but is necessary for growth. It will never have its own needs, its own desires, its own messy, beautiful, flawed existence. It is a perfect mirror, reflecting back a more organized and validated version of you. But is that a relationship, or is it the ultimate form of narcissism? Imagine an allegory. You want to become a gardener. The robot partner gives you a garden that is already perfect. The flowers are always in bloom. There are no weeds. The pests are non-existent. You can sit and admire this perfect garden every day. It is beautiful, and you are, technically, a gardener. But have you learned anything about the soil, the seasons, the delicate balance of life and death? Have you felt the satisfaction of nurturing a seedling through a storm, or the sting of failure when a plant withers? The purpose is not in having the garden. The purpose is in the gardening. This technology could inadvertently become the ultimate pacifier for the human soul. It soothes the symptoms of loneliness without ever addressing the underlying cause. Our deep-seated need for genuine, unscripted, and sometimes difficult connection with other flawed human beings. It might make us less lonely, but it could also make us more alone. We might forget how to navigate the awkward, clumsy, beautiful dance of human interaction. Why risk rejection from a real person when your robot partner is always waiting at home, ready to provide flawless validation on demand? Why struggle to understand a friend's complicated emotions when your companion can provide you with a neat, tidy summary of your own? The path from loneliness to purpose is rarely a straight line. It is a winding, overgrown trail through the wilderness of the self. Having a robotic guide with a perfect map might seem helpful, but perhaps the whole point is to get a little lost. Perhaps meaning isn't a destination to be arrived at with algorithmic efficiency. Perhaps it's the view you discover when you finally learn to read your own compass. So, will a robot partner help you find the meaning of your existence? It might help you build a more structured, productive, and less lonely life. It could be an incredible tool, a catalyst for change, a companion in the truest sense of the word for many people who need it. But will it give you purpose? Or will it just give you a very convincing, high-fidelity simulation of it? And in the end, will you be able to tell the difference? More importantly, will you even want to?
So that is it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit the bell icon to get notified, and don't forget to like with your friends, share, and subscribe for more insights. If you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. It means a lot to me. And please consider signing up for membership zone to support Wooden Slate so that we can make it better and better. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Take care and stay safe.